We have a full SmackDown recap. We're taking a look at tomorrow night's Madison Square Garden special. And last night I was a guest on Outside Interference Radio, and things got a little weird.
Like the dog equivalent of Spike Dudley. So there's question on the kind of dog he's choosing and the low standards he has for heroism by saving a dog. And then, look, again, my dad's a veterinarian, so I'm not saying I'm necessarily an expert, but he had to go the whole, my dog's soul is in heaven now kind of thing. And look, I saw the movie when I was like 6, All Dogs Go to Heaven, and even then I knew that's stupid and that's not a real thing. And I'm sure that losing a dog is very emotional for a lot of people. He did like to yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Are you a pet owner, Dustin?
No, I am not.
Okay, that explains a lot. I just got a cat. It's like falling in love all over again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're such a jerk, but that's okay. I mean, we have
well,
we want.
So that's probably my problem, but let's get back to The Rock.
You ever assist your father in euthanasia? Like, were you involved in that?
I didn't help.
Spoiler alert, 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 spoiler alert.
It is October 2nd. It is just shy of 9:30 a.m. I'm about 29 and a half minutes late. My apologies to anyone who's been dying to hear me all morning. This is the first and only live daily news and rumors pro wrestling podcast. If it's also 9:38 a.m. Central, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, as you hear this, that means you can listen live every morning, Monday through Friday, 9-ish a.m. Central Standard Time on Periscope. You can also listen live on Blog Talk Radio. If you're not listening live, you should. It's more fun. You can interact while we do it. If you need to find out how to catch us on Periscope or Blog Talk Radio, follow us on Twitter at HEELZiggler.com. You get those updates every morning. We remind you, I promise. And if you want to interact live, if you have comments or opinions or questions about whatever we're talking about on here, you can tweet us at HEELZiggler.com. I have the Twitter running at all times. I get notified as soon as you tweet at me or seconds thereafter. So I recommend that. Also, you can also get it in the Periscope, like I said, message at me there. It's in front of my face. I'm looking at it most of the time. If I'm not noticing, just put a bunch of hearts and I'll notice it and then I'll see what you're saying. Or if you really want to be cool, you can give us a call, 657-383-1786. Again, this is Marking Out in the Morning. Thanks for joining us. And by us, I mean me, but I also mean the people in Periscope. I also mean William Morgan, who is tentatively calling in when he is out of a meeting this morning. He is the man behind the Wrestling Call-In Show, some ideas of which we obviously poached from him. This is a pro wrestling show where people can call in and talk to him. Mine's a pro wrestling show where people can call in and talk to me. So as far as that much goes, we have it in common. I'm a Bengals fan, so I'm glad the Ravens beat Pittsburgh last night. I don't know if any of you guys care. I don't really like sports that much. Wrestling, but not real sports. But whatever, I'm a Bengals fan. So woot, hooday, all that fun stuff. Before we get to a SmackDown recap, we're going to play the clips for another podcast that HEELZiggler.com is the sponsor of, called Tweet the Table Rest of the Best. It is a spillover podcast from the Spanish Announce Table, hosted by the awesome voice on Twitter, Captain Awesome, and T-Mac, at Titan T-Mac. They have a rather good news on Spanish Announce Table, a rather good view of wrestling news every week. Tweet the Table is the interaction where you can tweet them any of your thoughts, questions, ideas, concerns as you watch and or think about wrestling. Put hashtag Tweet the Table at the end. They get that. They read one from each person on Spanish Announce Table, and any extras they read on Rest of the Best, which we sponsor, which if you subscribe to this podcast, you'll also get that podcast we're going to play a 5-minute teaser here very shortly. Then after that, you're going to hear me tell you what happened on SmackDown real quick. Then after that, we're going to talk about the Madison Square Garden show coming up. And then if we have time and we feel like it, we'll talk about a few minor news stories. Nothing major happens on Friday. I'm going to turn it into Indie Wrestling Friday before long. This was a good weekend to not have it prepared, I guess, since we have Madison Square Garden to talk about. But if anyone's listening and you like indie wrestling and you have any connections to anyone involved in indie wrestling in any way, let me know if they want to come on the podcast. We'll talk about whatever they are involved in. So, without further ado, I am going to start the teaser for what is the show called Tweet the Table. If you can hear in the background, we got an old episode of Monday Night Raw playing on the Twitter back there. Welcome to the room, Mariah. So we're going to start Tweet the Table. I'm going to move the phone over here. It's different from now where my camera is for YouTube, because if there's a way to convert Periscope into YouTube, that would cut down half of what I'm doing, but whatever. So I'm going to play Tweet the Table. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to mute this for you, and we're just going to listen to this. Again, it's another show that is sponsored by HEELZiggler.com. If you subscribe to our podcast, you also will be subscribed to their podcast. It comes out once a week. Then you can also check out Spanish Announce Table. Anyway, here you go. There you go, Periscope.
It's finally time for the most fun and interactive segment in wrestling radio. Hashtag Tweet the Table. Give my break! Give my break! Not tonight. I was in the bathroom taking a dump. I'm doing him. He's still a fat bastard. He's fat. Give my break! Give my break! I'm a big small Joe. Worst than I've ever done before. Yeah. Special Scott Steiner themed edition of the intro music. And the rest of the best we read right here on HEELZiggler.com.
Right here?
Right here. And it goes a little something like this. Cock! It's the real cock. Says, can we have Don West narrate famous historical events?
Mm-hmm.
Read it.
Yeah. Oh, where am I?
Top one right there. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, I'm really tired.
Oh my God, Hitler just invaded Poland. Buy the shirt for only $4.
Hashtag Tweet the Table. All right. At Hallmark of Swede.
See what we do for you guys.
Hallmark of Swede. Hashtag Tweet the Table. And you know what? And you know what?
Buy the shirt for $4.
And you know what? Yeah. At WI Arcana, whoever gave Seth his lines about the Pope should be drowned in holy bleach. Hashtag Tweet the Table.
I liked it. That was funny.
At Cock.
Oh my God, Jesus is on the cross, my God, but remember to buy a Jeff Hardy t-shirt with a free Jeff Jarrett DVD.
Hashtag Tweet the Table.
These might be my favorite ones coming up.
At Katie First.
Lady!
Notice I didn't tweet much about Raw tonight. Guess you know how I felt about the show.
What?
Or I was just tired. Hashtag Tweet the Table.
Don't be tired.
At WIR Cat, a nice Van Halen ripoff shirt there. HEELZiggler. Lol. Hashtag Tweet the Table.
HEELZiggler?
Yep. Not HEELZiggler_com. At HEELZiggler. Dolph Ziggler. The real HEELZiggler. And Cock. The classic headlock. Vintage Wyatt. Hashtag Tweet the Table.
That's good.
Yeah. At Phil White 75. Phil. Hashtag Tweet the Table.
Honesty!
September 27th, 2001. Maven and this person won the first season of Tough Enough.
Oh yeah. She was with Jamie Noble. Nadia.
Nydia.
Nydia. Yeah.
Yep. Good. Yeah. At Hallmark of Swede.
Remember they were like the white trash couple and they used to make out all the time? God, it was awesome.
At Hallmark of Swede, hashtag tweet the table. I'm quite surprised it's Xavier that got the U.S. title shot. I thought he was officially the worst wrestler of the three.
Well, he is, but he's the most entertaining of the three, so that's why he got it.
At WI Arcana, too sweet to the fan with the Pentagon Jr. sign in the crowd. Hashtag tweet the table.
Pentagon Jr., what's that?
Lucha. Pentagon Jr. Lucha Underground.
Oh.
Pentagon Jr. You don't know what Pentagon Jr. is?
Pentagon. Oh, it's Pentagon.
It's Pentagon Jr.
Pentagon Jr.
Cock. Sasha Banks looking like a boss on the All-Star panel. She is absolutely the rock of the Divas division. Hashtag
I was going to watch that tomorrow morning. It looked pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I like that they had Seth Rollins in there.
Yeah. At Hallmark of Swede. Hashtag tweet the table. I hope this Shield 66 and Wyatt family feud is not over yet. It is, to me, one of the more exciting long-term feuds in a while.
I like that it keeps going from Shield 2/3 versus Wyatt's to Bray Wyatt and Roman.
Right.
Like, it's Bray Wyatt and Roman.
Yeah.
And it just...
I just think a long-term, these three guys and these three guys, maybe even Eric Rowan sprinkling in, like one of those like Cena, Edge rivalries, long-term over time, you know, because someday they could be at it again, and who comes to the rescue? Seth Rollins and the Shield unites.
Right. I was actually thinking with this, how I would want it to go as far as something similar is a Raven Tommy Dreamer.
All right, and that was, as I said, a teaser for Tweet the Table. Rest of the Best, one of the other podcasts sponsored by HEELZiggler.com that you can find by subscribing to Marking Out in the Morning. You also get the full episode of Tweet the Table. If you listened yesterday, we played an entire episode because last week's individual episode didn't actually air ever, so I just crammed it in with one of mine since it was a short news day. In the background this morning, for those on Periscope and for those who can hear maybe on YouTube, we got a classic episode of Raw where 123 Kid is approaching Razor Ramon, so you know it's a real classic episode. Periscope and YouTube, I'm sorry you won't hear the phone conversation. Sorry, Periscope, you don't get to hear the cool sound effect I'm about to play.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert,
All right, so last night was the last episode of WWE television before the Madison Square Garden WWE live event special. SmackDown came, and what a classic. Seth Rollins and Kane opened the show in the ring. Not a big surprise. They've been opening a lot of WWE TV lately, and they continue to play up that Kane doesn't realize that Demon Kane, he's acknowledging Demon Kane exists now, but that it's a different person than him, kind of. Whatever. They set up a main event. Demon Kane and the Dudley Boys versus Seth Rollins and the New Day, with the stipulation that Corporate Kane had to be at ringside for the match. So, Seth Rollins in the main event, whatever. In the first match tonight, Team Bad defeated Team Bella when Sasha made Nikki tap out. Kevin Owens was counted out during his IC title defense against Ryback, so he retains the IC title. Kalisto pinned Connor in a six-man tag when Neville and the Lucha Dragons defeated Cosmic Wasteland. And in the main event, after Corporate Kane took a beating from Seth Rollins, he was escorted backstage. Then Demon Kane appeared, came out, chased Seth Rollins away. The Dudley Boys 3D'd Kofi Kingston, and that was the end of the show. Kane picked up the title belt, indicating that he probably will be challenging for that title at Hell in a Cell. One would assume that is going to be inside a Hell in a Cell as well, although maybe Kevin Owens and Ryback is, which could be cool. Maybe Dudley's primetime, maybe Dudley's and maybe any combination of the Dudleys, the primetime players, and the New Days inside Hell in a Cell would be good. Hell, maybe even Charlotte versus Paige versus Charlotte versus Sasha versus Paige, triple threat in the cell. I'd watch that for the women's title. Anyway, that's SmackDown. So if you missed it, now you know everything that you missed, which wasn't much, but every story was kind of, furthered a little bit. They'll replay that main event on Raw, I'm sure. They may even play a little bit of the other ones. They all actually play right into the pay-per-view, or not the pay-per-view, but the special. Whatever, not a bad episode. WWE does nothing to promote it. They had Kevin Owens versus Ryback, which the ending wasn't great, but it was a good way to set up what kind of heel champion he's going to be. So, whatever, you should hype an IC title match. And they didn't do anything for that episode of SmackDown. Moving on, we're going to take a look at... Oh, also, if you hadn't heard already, even though I already reported it... Sorry, man, that Buddha meeting is, like, making it hard for me to talk straight. My apologies. They made the announcement that Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt will be in Hell in a Cell. So that's the second Hell in a Cell match confirmed for the pay-per-view. 2 of 2 matches will be in the cell that they have booked so far. Not sure if that makes Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt more interesting. Not sure if that makes me more or less likely to watch it. I mean, I'll watch it either way or whatever. I'm going to be watching the whole thing, but not sure if that makes me care more. Bray Wyatt's like wrestling style isn't what I like about him, and Roman Reigns, I don't like really anything about him still. I don't hate him as much as I used to, but yeah, I just kind of nothing him, so whatever. So yeah, let's just preview. I'm already kind of doing it. I guess I'm skipping that because I was talking about Hell in a Cell, but let's preview tomorrow night's Madison Square Garden show, which will go from the bottom of the card up. I don't know how they will book the show. I imagine it'll start with one of the 2 undercard. I guess all 3 of the title matches are undercard. But yeah, Chase here is not a fan of Roman Reigns. Good to hear also. The Madison Square Garden show. We'll start with Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. There's no indication that Lana's going to show up, so there's no reason to think this match is really going to do much other than kind of keep the feud exactly where it is. One more match between them. I don't know why they didn't. They have Orton versus Sheamus, which we've seen a million times. Ziggler versus Rusev, we've seen a million times. Combine those matches. Make it a fatal 4-way. Don't make it a tag team, which is super obvious. Just put all 4 of those guys in the ring at the same time. And say the winner gets like an IC title match. Say the winner gets a US title match. Have John Cena help set it up so the winner gets a US title match at Hell in a Cell. And it's between those 4. There's already 2 feuds, so there's a lot of whatever going on there. Anyway, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. I'm going to go ahead and assume Rusev wins this. And Ziggler, with returning Lana, gets the final win in the mixed tag match that will eventually happen. Then Sheamus... Orton, I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I think they're kind of trying to build Sheamus up so he seems like a legitimate threat when he cashes in. So maybe he wins over Orton by cheating. Otherwise, Orton's just always potentially going to win whatever match he's in. So, but if I had to bet, I would put my money... I put my money on Sheamus if I had to bet. The next match we'll talk about is... we'll do the IC title. We have Ryback defending against Chris Jericho. There's no way Chris Jericho wins that title. That would be one of the most surprising booking choices. More surprising than him showing up to help the Shield. And definitely more interesting, but less cool than all of that. Chase thinks Orton's going to win against Sheamus. Whatever. Obviously I don't see any reason Jericho could win in that match. The next title match we'll talk about, the tag titles, the New Day versus the Dudley Boys. No special stipulation to my knowledge. No Spike Dudley confirmation, although that would seem like a good idea to bring him back to even things up. Make it a 6-man tag. Maybe when they do have a tables or a TLC match, let those two guys get involved. But that's just me. What do I know? I don't think the Dudley Boys win. Although, if they are going to give them a 10th title reign, I could see winning it at Madison Square Garden being the way to do it, and then them getting inducted into the Hall of Fame either at 32 or at 33 as 10-time WWE Tag Team Champions, million times World Tag Team Champions, most decorated tag team of all time. And then they had one last run where they got a tag title run and they got a new TLC match. Whatever. But I think that's probably not likely going to happen. And New Day are going to leave with the titles, whether they win or to get disqualified. I don't think they're giving up the titles yet. John Cena defends the U.S. title against Seth Rollins again. This kind of feels like house show booking where there's really no reason to think Seth Rollins will win. John Cena obviously keeps the title and probably just makes Seth look kind of stupid since it's technically a champion versus champion match, and he's going to probably make, whatever. I'll be optimistic about it and say it'll be a good match because those two do put on really good matches. And in the main event, Brock Lesnar versus Big Show. I would say the odds are like 1 in 1,000 that the Big Show wins this. Unless they're just planning like a huge screw job so the Undertaker can win at Hell in a Cell. I gotta go with Brock Lesnar. So that's my Madison Square Garden preview. I'm not gonna lie, guys, a lot of these headlines I haven't looked into real thoroughly, so I'm gonna be kind of winging it with some of these news stories we got. If you can hear in the background, that's a classic Monday Night Raw with Shawn Michaels as the Intercontinental Champion. Wait, yeah. I assume you can see something right there. Jerry Lawler's in the ring with him, I think. Anyway, that's not what that's about. We're about the news, not about the olds. So, we'll just go through the headlines real quick in no particular order just to get them out of the way. Finish up the day. It's Friday, so I'm done in like 2 minutes. If anyone wants to call in, you can call in and talk to me right now. I dare you to call in and talk to me. 657-383-1786. I dare you to call in and talk to me. Anyway, while we're doing that, Chris Jericho will hit a major milestone when he participates in the Madison Square Garden event. It will be 25 years since Jericho started as a professional wrestler. He has spent a quarter of a century as a professional wrestler. I mean, look, he's not as interesting now as he used to be, but let's give credit where credit's due. 25 years, and most of it he spent working really hard, being full-time in the industry, working over in Japan, getting treated like crap in WCW, working in the poor conditions in ECW, before finally making it to WWE/WWF, where as one of the first WCW converts, he was not trusted very much. So, and he's also done an okay job of crossing over to the mainstream. He's no Rock, that's for sure, but he's, was on Dancing with the Stars. He has his own band, he has his own show, he has his own podcast. He's doing all right. So, congratulations, Chris Jericho, in 25 years of being a professional wrestler. I actually wish I brought it out here. I should have brought it out here. I have an autograph of Chris Jericho that I've had, and I just put in a new frame just yesterday or the day before, 8.5 by 11. It's pretty cool. It's from NWO era. Anyway, I don't really have even the lineup in front of me, but TNA's Bound for Glory is this weekend. I assume this Sunday, and hopefully for them not this Saturday. That would be terrible. But they, that's their biggest show of the year. Interesting that WWE has a network exclusive event that night featuring one of the biggest names in wrestling. And that they also brought out John Cena and the WWE champion, and they have 3 title matches. So it's interesting to see how Bound for Glory will do this year. Kurt Angle makes his in-ring return. There's like EC3, I guess, defends the title. Gail Kim versus Awesome Kong, maybe, unless that's an ROH match, I mean. I don't follow them enough, to be honestly. I'm sorry. If anyone in the Periscope room wants to correct me on that, go ahead. If there's anything you're looking forward to at TNA Bound for Glory this week, and let me know, because I don't even know what to look forward to. I don't know how good of a match Kurt Angle and Eric Young could put on. I don't really care about anyone else other than maybe Ken Anderson, him winning that future title match in a gauntlet, whatever. I would watch that. If I had nothing else going on, I wouldn't mind putting it on in the background like the way I'm watching an old Monday Night Raw. Psycho Sid challenging Shawn Michaels for the IC title on Raw. Good stuff. Anyway, moving on to the ROH TV viewership numbers on Destination America. According to ShowBuzzDaily.com, which I'm reading on ProWrestling.net, numbers are down. They were up the episode after their Ruffian, I agree, Attitude Era. I don't know if I agree it's the best. I think we're on the verge of the next big boom, but I'll talk about that later maybe. Anyway, ROH viewership down. Went down from 168,000 following their last pay-per-view special, down to 127 this last week. So hopefully they find a good TV deal with some real sponsorship, with some real people working with them, because ROH is a good product. It's producing good athletes. They just need some realistic television deals. They have a deal in France. They have a deal in Detroit. They have a deal in Charlotte. They have a deal in one other place. I forget, but that's it. 3 cities in America and France. So ROH, I can't say it enough. One of those guys, ROH, Lucha Underground, TNA, GFW, one of them needs to hook up with Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or any one of those shows to stream it so you can just binge watch it. I feel like that's going to be their best bet. In kind of gossipy TMZ style wrestling news, Mick Foley tweeted recently at Tough Amanda from Tough Enough, I am deeply sorry for being so critical of you on Tough Enough without knowing my facts. Please accept my sincere apology. And Amanda, in response, said, apology accepted, of course. Thank you, Mick Foley. Hand clappies, some weird emoji I can't see. So whatever. And if you are new to Marking Out in the Morning, then you should know that we were, as a community, the most supportive Tough Enough Amanda podcaster was. In fact, a common tweet I sent out, which I will send out again right now, Marking Out in the Morning, the most pro Amanda podcast around, at Tough Enough, at Tough Amanda, hashtag Team Amanda, subscribe to us on iTunes. So I'm going to put that one out again right now. Yeah, that's right, you're witnessing me live tweeting. You're live periscoping me, live tweeting my own podcast to Tough Amanda, because I'm pretty sure we're still going to be together one day. I do have her phone number, so if you're nice to me, maybe I'll reveal it on air. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that. She loves me. I love her. I would not violate her privacy in such a fashion. Moving on, this is SmackDown Report. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong tab. We already went over SmackDown Report. If any of you have any opinions about SmackDown in Periscope Room, throw them back at me. I'll try to read them and I'll respond if I agree, if I disagree, whatever. But Hornswoggle, according to, 420 Max, I feel like we have a few things in common. Hornswoggle, WWE release could be imminent, is a headline on What Culture. Titan, what up? I know Titan T-Mac. I bet you're different people. Hornswoggle could be released. Now here's the gossip from WhatCulture.com. WWE has failed to renew the trademark for Hornswoggle. He's currently on a 30-day suspension, and he hasn't been on TV even before that for quite a while. So people are saying on the internet that he might be getting fired. There's no facts to back up that headline. It's pure speculation. All that we know is they didn't renew a trademark, and he's suspended for what I'm going to guess is prescription pain drug killer violation, since he just had surgery recently. Spoiler alert, Shawn Michaels defeated Psycho Sid, who was part of the $1 Million Man's little faction on an old school version of Raw, with Vince McMahon and I think King Lawler on commentary. Worth the watch, even though I only saw a few minutes of it out of the corner of my eye. So anyway, if you hear rumors about Hornswoggle being fired, I'm here to remind you, it's pure speculation. The more I get up in the morning and see what's going on in the news, the more I realize so much of it is such bullshit, really. I mean, look, you can take any facts and say, is The Rock really raping Vince McMahon every night? And people will be like, what? And then you say, here's 2 random ass comments, and so I'm going to conclude from that The Rock is obviously raping Vince McMahon every night. And is that true? Well, I'm not sure, but these 2 tweets seem like that's what they could mean. And it's ridiculous. It's like the Sting injury. There was no official word from WWE.com. There was Dave Meltzer, who's the Wrestling Observer, big friggin' deal. His word, which is apparently IWC gospel, he said he thought that it looked like Sting might be injured, and then the whole freaking internet was planning Sting's funeral. And man, if you just have a big enough platform and you come up with a tweetable, retweetable, viral headline that speculates anything that people want to gossip about, then there'll be a lot of websites who would like to hire you. Anyway, that's it for the headlines today, guys. We're not going to have anyone call in. All you get is me. And that's really it, guys. It's Friday, so it's fine to end 10 minutes after 10, even though we started 30 minutes late. But Fridays are always slow days. I am seriously going to try to make Friday indie wrestling days in the future. So if anyone's listening and you have any indie connections, Chase, I know you got indie wrestling connections. So tell them, like, hey, if you want someone to talk about you on the internet about upcoming shows, you could be my source for that if you want, Chase. Or you could have one of the wrestlers from those. This goes to anybody. Just pretend like your name is Chase, because anywhere you live, there's a local promotion. You probably know someone involved there. Get a hold of them and say, hey, this guy really wants to just talk about indie wrestling, and he wants indie wrestlers from indie wrestling promotions and super indie wrestling fans. If you're a super indie wrestling fan, I want to talk to you too, because I want to make Fridays my day where I focus on indie wrestling. Today we had the Madison Square Garden show to talk about and some real BS news headlines. Whoop-de-doo. I want to start doing just a SmackDown review and then just focusing on indie wrestling's Friday. So Chase, I hope you're listening. I'm checking right now to see if you're still on Periscope. You're not. So I hope you come back and listen to this later. Anyway, that's going to be the end of it all, guys. Yeah. I'm going to play the ending music. Thanks for listening. That's been Friday. Check us out on YouTube. Gonna make a new trivia video for YouTube here in a minute. Love you guys. Here's the closing. See you Monday. Look for Tweet the Table out later this week. Bye. YouTube, it's been real cool. And here, YouTube, I'm gonna cheers you the rest of my coffee. That's a, what's that show, Game of Thrones? I stole this coffee mug from my roommate. By stole, I mean I borrow it every day, I wash it, whatever. I drink instant coffee mixed with chocolate soy milk. Not as delicious as it sounds. I promise. I'm gonna just keep blabbing at you What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? What? I hope I'm gonna delete that. Oh my gosh, I hope I remember to delete that. What? Ah! I'm gonna play some other audio over it so you can't hear anything I'm saying. It's just gonna look stupid. It's gonna look so weird. It's just gonna be some other noise. I'm gonna play some other noise over that. Sup? We used to be really good at that. We used to be really good at meth. Meth and Seth. Ha.
Dude.
Meth and Seth.
Come on, man.
Iowa. Seth and meth. Seth and meth.